Hello, beloved. So glad you came back for another adventure in A Course of Love. Little teaser taste. This week we are in Chapter 6, Forgiveness and Joining in the main Course of Love. I'm Dr. CeeJay Adams, Dr. Goddess on Love and Life, and I love these opportunities to give just a taste of the succulent depth of A Course of Love. Let's dive in, shall we? Joining rests on forgiveness. This you have heard before without understanding what it is you would forgive. You must forgive reality for being what it is. Reality, the truly real, is relationship. You must forgive God for creating a world in which you cannot be alone. You must forgive God for creating a world in which you cannot be alone. You must forgive God for creating a shared reality before you can understand it is the only one you would want to have. You have to forgive this reality for being different than you have always imagined it to be. You have to forgive yourself for not being able to make it on your own, because you have realized the impossibility of doing so. You have to forgive yourself for being what you are, a being who exists only in relationship. You have to forgive all others for being as you are. They too cannot be separate, no matter how hard they try. Forgive them. Forgive yourself. Forgive God. Then you will be ready to begin learning just how different it is to live in the reality of a relationship. Your brother does not exist apart from you, nor you from your brother. This is reality. Your mind is not contained within your body, but is one with God and shared equally with all alike. This is reality. The heart that is the center of your being is the center of everything that exists. This is reality. None of these things make you less than what you have perceived yourself to be, but they do make it impossible for you to be separate. You can desire what is impossible until the end of your days, but you cannot make it possible. Why not forgive the world for being other than what you have thought it to be, and begin to learn what it really is? This is what the world is here for. And when you have learned what it will teach you, you will have need of it no more, and you will gently let go and find heaven in its place. Wow. And when you have learned what it would teach you, you will have need of it no more, and you will gently let it go and find heaven in its place. I've been a relationships educator for over 20 years. My business card says I'm a relationship visioneer. And I feel like a kindergartner when it comes to understanding all the various relationships in our lives. Just these two short passages speak so much depth. Let's look again at some of these components that perhaps keep us from seeing reality and being able to move into heaven on earth. Here it says that joining rests on forgiveness, and that you must forgive reality for being what it is. What is reality? Reality is relationship. If I took those three and I put them all together, I'd say that the only way I can be whole is to be willing to recognize the truth, which is what forgiveness means, to truly recognize the truth, the reality of a situation. So to recognize the truth that all of life is a relationship. I cannot be separate from you. You cannot be separate from me. I can't be separate from this video camera, right? Or this couch that I'm sitting on. These glasses that help me read. They're all part of the relationships that make my life what it is. You must forgive God for creating a world in which you cannot be alone. Haven't you experienced times where you just wished you could do it on your own? You just absolutely wished you could do everything 100% fully sustainable. Go up into the mountains or away to the beach and just become a hermit. I know I've certainly had those times. I have certainly had times where I wished that I didn't have anyone to be responsible for. Where I wished I had all the money I could possibly need, all the food, all the shelter, and I could just be. But if I look at the reality of that image, where'd the food come from? A tree, a root in the ground. That's a relationship. Where did the money come from? Either a great inheritance, which, as far as I know, I don't have one coming, but you never know. Or I worked really hard in a job. I won the lottery. All of those are relationships. Everything I want in life is attached to a relationship. So I have to forgive, meaning I need to change my perceptions about those relationships. You have to forgive this reality for being different than you have always imagined it to be. I would love to say that money grows on trees, right? That there's no one who struggles to pay a bill. The reality is that I have this expectation of life that doesn't match what I see. And I get angry, even if I don't truly admit it, even if I look like this beautiful, calm, trusting spiritual being. Inside, I roil like crazy at the thoughts of poverty, of children not being cared for. There are so many things that can make my blood boil. But when my blood's boiling, I am not walking in a place of forgiveness. I'm walking in a place of anger and telling stories about reality rather than just seeing the truth that this is reality, and let's create with it rather than against it. It says here, you have to forgive yourself for being what you are, a being who exists only in relationship. I wish I could manifest in this moment all the money I need by myself. And I can't do it. There's a reason ministers have donation buttons on their websites, right? Because we are reliant on the donations of those who listen to us, to videos like this. Our employers, right? Who bring in the income through the sales of products. Government services, it really doesn't matter where my money comes from. It's most likely coming through a relationship, right? And I don't like that all the time. I'm not always happy that my sustainability is linked to another relationship. Maybe that's one of those relationships where I have to forgive God. It says here, we have to forgive God. Why are we forgiving God? Because He created reality before. You must forgive God for creating a reality before you can understand it is the only one you would want to have. What's that reality? The reality in which we all must be in relationship. I have to first forgive that it's a requirement, that I can't be separate. I cannot separate myself, no matter how hard I try. Even if I ran up into the mountains to live and try to be sustainable there, there's still relationships there. Animals, nature, the need for food, the need for resources. Even if it wasn't money, I would still need resources. I would need some form of covering, some way to stay warm. Those all are relationships. Well, then we jump into 6:2, and it says, your brother does not exist apart from you, nor you from your brother. This is reality. Sometimes I want to separate from those that I don't understand. According to this, I can't. That's my brother. I may not understand why someone acts the way they do. The violence in this world, I don't understand it. I really don't. But I'm not separate from it. It's really my brother fighting my brother. When I can recognize that as reality, I have a whole different perception of what's going on in this world. The heart that is the center of your being is the center of everything that exists. My heart, the love that I cultivate there, is the center of everything that exists. So my love connects with your love, connects with our brothers and our sisters' love, connects with allness. And from there, we get everything that exists. My heart's connected to yours. Even if I don't feel it, even if I'm not aware of it, I'm connected to you. You're connected to me. That's the way it was designed. That is the reality of our existence. Why not forgive the world for being other than what you have thought it to be and begin to learn what it really is? This is what the world is here for. The world is here for us to learn through relationship. The world is here for us to learn love and to be one through relationship. And when you have learned this, when you have learned the reality of relationship, of love, then you will have learned all that this earth has for you, and you will gently lay it aside and find heaven in its place. I can find heaven right here on earth through you, through the relationships that I cultivate, through joining, through recognizing the reality that I can't be alone. You know, I have a $5 bill that I use as a bookmark in my Course of Love book. Why do I do that? It's a reminder of my relationship with my finances. I would love to say I'm a millionaire, or even close. I would love to say I was close to a 6-figure income, but I'm not. And sometimes I want to tell myself scary, terrifying stories about my relationship with resources. And yet, what I know is I live in an abundant universe. And so every time I look at that $5 bill in my Course of Love book, I'm reminded, I must be pretty darn abundant if I can mark my place with a $5 bill, right? It's looking at the reality of our relationships as they are, not amplifying them, not degrading them, just allowing them to be the perfection that they are in this very moment. And forgiving God for creating a world in which we had to be in relationship. I'm sure I'm not the only one who's ever said relationships suck. And at the same time said, oh my God, I want a relationship. And I have a beautiful love in my life and it's fantastic. It's not always easy, right? But when I can look at the relationship in love and see that it is truly just a relationship, no different than my relationship with my children, my relationship with my neighbor, my relationship with the stranger on the corner, the homeless person on the bus. All those relationships are relationships with my brothers and sisters, are relationships with God, are relationships with myself. Because ultimately, a course of love is a course in identity. It is a journey back to knowing myself fully. It is a journey for you to know yourself fully. And the only way I can know myself is in joining in relationship, perceiving reality as exactly what it is, relationship. Thank you for coming and enjoying a little teaser. I look forward to playing again sometime very soon. I will have a series of videos coming out in the near future, so watch for that. If you'd like to know more about me, please visit my website, CeeJayAdams.com, CeeJayAdams.com. You can come and visit us on Sunday nights from 6 to 8:30 every night. 6:30 to 8:30 every Sunday night at 1555 Race Street. That's downtown Denver. You'll continue to see these little snippets here on YouTube. As I said, more to come. If you'd like to donate, please do visit my website. There's a link there for you to be able to donate. Until then, please celebrate your magnificence. Remember that you are love incarnate.